Now on WKYT News at noon, a major shakeup at the University of Kentucky today. Find out why the school has fired its cheerleading coaching staff.
Today is a first alert weather day because of the potential of a few inches of rain falling between today and tomorrow evening. Flash flood watch is out. We'll track that and the possibility of some stronger storms coming up.
And Lexington hospitals are easing some restrictions for visitors as Kentucky continues to fight the spread of COVID-19.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant. Barbara Bailey is off today. This is a first alert weather day as we expect some flooding in much of our region. But first, we're tracking breaking news this midday involving the University of Kentucky cheerleading program. All 4 coaches have been fired after an extensive hazing investigation. WKYT's Victor Puente is live from UK's campus with the breaking details. Victor?
Bill, it wouldn't be out of line to say that the University of Kentucky cheerleading team is one of the best, if not the best, in the nation. Now that team will have to find new leadership after all 4 coaches were fired. Now last week we had heard about allegations of hazing and an investigation. At that point, UK leaders told us that they couldn't comment. Today they released the results of a 3-month investigation that they say found hazing, alcohol use, and public nudity among the team. Head coach Jomo Thompson and assistant coaches Ben Head, Spencer Clan, and Kelsey LaCroix have all been fired as a result of that investigation. And program advisor T. Lynn Williamson retired shortly after that investigation started. They said it started with a call from someone concerned about a team retreat at Lake Cumberland, where cheerleaders were tossed into the water while either topless or bottomless. They also said alumni were allowed to bring boats and alcohol to that event, where cheerleaders were partially naked and drinking while riding on boats. There were also issues during a cheerleading camp in Tennessee where lewd chants were performed and some cheerleaders were told not to wear underwear. The people who performed this investigation said that there was no evidence of sexual assault or sexual misconduct during these trips, but they did say they don't believe this was limited to 1 year.
It's unclear how long inappropriate behavior has been part of the off-campus trips. However, we believe these activities were not confined to the past year and may have been tolerated for many years. While much is still unclear, given the conflicting accounts from dozens of participants interviewed, one thing is crystal clear. The blue and white squads have been operating under lax oversight for many years.
That investigation said they also found potential financial conflicts of interest between 2 members of the coaching staff who run gymnastics businesses and hired cheerleaders, as well as an advisor who hired students and coaches. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you very much. And now the question, of course, is what's next for this program? WKYT longtime sports anchor Dave Baker joins us live now to give us some more perspective on that. Dave?
Bill, I come to you today as longtime cheerleader parent, Dave Baker as well, which is why I have some knowledge about this. The University of Kentucky cheerleading squad, obviously those 24 national championships, been deeply embedded in this community as well. And so the question not only are people asking right now is what happens going forward, but how did this happen? And so maybe here's a little perspective. Again, UK cheerleading got some support from UK athletics, but the championships for cheerleading for high school and college are administered by the Universal Cheerleading Association. So basically what happened was the oversight wasn't there that needed to be. That won't be the case now with UK athletics taking total control.
The move to have this under the full authority of athletics is, I think, a demonstrated record of a strong structure and culture of compliance. I have been able to observe that in my 9 years at the University of Kentucky, and I have deep confidence in Sandy Bell and others within the athletic department and athletic director Barnhart to maintain those same high standards and rigor in regards to this program.
Bill, a couple of notes to point out there. Sandy Bell, who Dr. Capilouto referenced, is now the senior athletics administrator for women at the University of Kentucky. But before that, she was the longtime compliance director that shepherded Kentucky through at least a couple of NCAA investigations that I'm aware of. And this is not unusual. You hate to see it, but it's not unusual with some of these quasi-athletic programs. Just recently, and here closely, there was an incident with the Ohio State band that led to changes like this. And just a couple of years ago, to the U of L dance squad. So now they'll go about the task of, first of all, trying to get all the answers they need for this investigation, move forward, get a quality coach, make sure the student athletes are taken care of, and try to get this program back on a championship path once again.
And it sounds like they want to do it quickly, within a month or so, with the hiring of the new head coach. Dave Baker, thank you. Before that, of course, Victor Puente. We'll continue to follow throughout the day on air and online on that breaking story, and another report at 12:30. Right now, we are tracking a flood threat that really is hitting throughout the region. Rain and thunderstorms are moving in. WKYT's Jim Caldwell joining us now on this First Alert Weather Day. Jim?
And that First Alert Weather Day has been issued for all of those elements. The primary thing from today and tomorrow will be the flash flood threat. Yes, we have the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms, but the bigger issue is going to be the flooding. Now, any thunderstorm that gets up and gets going could bring some very strong winds with it as well. The only active alert we have out at the moment is the flash flood watch, and that goes through tomorrow evening for all of the counties highlighted here in green. Again, you're talking about high water being the main concern because of the flash flood watch, and it'll happen in a hurry. Notice that we're getting the scattering of showers and even some thunder showers already showing up now across parts of Kentucky. It's not heavy rain, not yet widespread, but it will get that way a little later. I mean, you go out toward folks there in Lawrenceburg, out into Anderson County, and you find some of the heavier rain. You got more down to the south, and it will keep feeding in and just rolling around this area of low pressure. Yes, as I mentioned, there is a severe weather element to this as well. We have a marginal risk out, so any one of these thunderstorms could probably produce 60-mile-per-hour winds. I just don't think it's going to be as widespread. It's just the training of that rain over some of the same spots again and again. There's where our issue is. I'll track it with a full hour by hour coming up.
And we'll see you shortly. Thank you, Jim. Remember, you can get the latest weather updates sent to your phone wherever you go. Just download the WKYT weather app. Now, we continue to track the latest on COVID-19 here in the Commonwealth. As officials work to fight the spread of the virus, some restrictions are beginning to ease, and that includes at hospitals here in Lexington. WKYT's Chelsea Jones has the details on that. Chelsea?
Well, hospitals are still restricting visitor access for patients being treated for COVID-19. But starting today, patients being treated for other procedures can be accompanied by up to one visitor. This goes for Baptist Health, St. Joseph Hospital, and UK Hospital. Restrictions may vary at each hospital, but visitors must be screened at all three locations before seeing patients.
You're asked a series of questions, including having a fever, having been tested recently for COVID-19. If you've been tested, what were the results? If the results are unknown, then you're asked not to enter until the results are known. If you recently tested positive, we don't want anyone in that situation to be coming into the hospital.
Anyone showing signs of illness are asked not to visit the hospital. Those who pass the screening are required to wear a mask and advised to wash their hands frequently. Patients and visitors are asked to limit the number of personal items they bring into the hospital to reduce the number of germs taken home. Now, at this time, certain areas in the hospitals are still closed to the public, such as lobbies and waiting rooms, with limited access to cafeterias. In Lexington, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
Chelsea, thank you. And Governor Beshear is expected to give another update this afternoon on Kentucky's current COVID-19 cases and the status of things. We've already learned about some new numbers here in Fayette County. Let's get to WKYT's Kristen Kennedy joining us now with a live breakdown of that. Kristen?
We did learn, Bill, this morning about those new numbers out of Fayette County. We learned about 20 new cases this past weekend in the Lexington area. But when we look statewide, we are now looking at more than 7,600 confirmed cases of COVID-19. 334 people have died. More than 2,700 people have recovered. That's about a third of all of our cases. When we look at this map of the state here, remember this stretch in eastern Kentucky where we had no confirmed cases? That stretch changed a little bit over the weekend. Magoffin County now has 1 confirmed case. So there are 5 counties in Kentucky with no confirmed cases. Jefferson County, they remain the county with the most cases here. I'm going to play out this timeline, show you. They've been the leader